first things first, I would like to say thank you to a couple of people out there in the audience who have taken it upon themselves to send me some money through PayPal. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. It's Christmas time, and I always tend to overspend around Christmas time because I'm fucking stupid and I have very bad impulse control. I'm starting to find that I have very bad impulse control. Like, I'm really starting to figure out that I might have, like, diagnosable bad impulse control. You know what I mean? Like, because I really have noticed that I have very bad impulse control these days. So, yeah. So I'm just beginning to find out that I might have that. So I'm really starting to take a very good hard iron grip of everything I do. So, right? But yeah. Anyway, going on. Thank you very much. I'm so terrible at this. This is fucking. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You know, I used to beg for money, and now I just kind of go, because I just don't have it in me. I'm not good. I've never been a good salesman. I'm not good at that shit. I don't care to really lie to people, and you know, I'm always kind of like the option's there, pay whatever. So, thank you very much for that. I don't know what I'm doing here. But going through comments today, and I haven't gotten a chance to really I've gotten a chance to kind of almost catch up recent time, but I'm getting close. I let it go for the Thanksgiving weekend and a couple of days before that, I think, and then I'm just getting back into it because I have very bad impulse control. So, yeah, one of the people that was nice enough to give me some money, that left a comment saying that they would like for me to succeed, and they would like for me to kind of up my production game so that I can succeed. And I gotta tell you this, for all my faults, I am one thing kind of above all else. And this is going to kind of sound funny, but I think I can rationalize it at the very least. I'm like scary Skynet level self-aware. Like I really diagnose myself on a pretty continual basis. I'm always kind of looking at my actions, and when I notice that I might have a behavior that might have become a problem, or is possibly going to become a problem, or is a problem in certain situations, I start to try and diagnose that, and I try to catch it as fast as possible and think to myself, okay, what the fuck? Okay, this is what's going on now. You know what I mean? So, we're all a continual process. It's all practice, right? Look, doctors don't own, doctor businesses. They own practices, right? Because they're always still practicing. Medicine is always evolving and becoming better. They're always working on the process. None of them are professionals. They all have practices. They're all practicing, practicing medicine. Right? Because we're all just practicing. None of them have fucking perfected shit yet. So, yeah. I'm practicing. I'm a practicing self-aware, scary level Skynet self-aware human being. But I'm always analyzing myself. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I know who and what I am, and I know what lengths I am willing to go with this channel. You have to understand something. This channel is a continuum. It has an evolution and de-evolution and evolution and de-evolution and evolution and de-evolution aspect to it. I go in waves. Like, you really have to look at my entire channel as an entirety of a body of work. I understand I have over 1,200 videos, and I understand that there is a huge chunk of them which is not accessible publicly. I get that that is a thing, but you also have to understand that that is also part of the evolution of the channel. Like, that is part of where it is go. My channel has been organic from day one. I shit you not. You can actually, if you watch, I can't even fathom it, and I've done it, and I can't even fucking fathom doing this again. Oh my god, it would be, it would make me sick. Some of you might like it, but I don't know. If you actually, like, were to go to where, like, the upload tab, and page down to literally the first video I've ever made, and start watching, you know, like, you don't have to watch every video or listen to every video, which it would be listening for some of them, but you wouldn't have to do that with everything. You would really just have to look at the thumbnails and the titles and kind of what it is that you can get contextually what's going on. You can see what's oh, now he's doing video games. You know, like, it started off with the podcast, and then the podcast got video, and then I started doing video games, and then you know, like, things just, and I've gone through this whole thing, and I've hit on all sorts of stuff, and that's my channel, and here's where we're at right now. This is my production value right now. This is what I have the time and the willingness and the desire to do. Right? When I wasn't working, when I went through my midlife crisis and I took a fucking 10-month break from just being at work so that I could just do YouTube and fuck around with this and have fun with my life for a while, like, when I did that, there was huge production value. There was all manner of shit that I did. I did all manner of crazy cuts and stuff like that, and I would take video, I would watch all manner of hours and hours and hours worth of content I would look through so that I could try and find the funniest fucking video that I could possibly make, and then that would be the video that I would make for the day. I would spend, I quit working 8 hours a day at a factory in a warehouse so that I could work 16 hours a day in my apartment doing YouTube. Like, that was for nothing. Like, for what people donated to me, which was not anywhere fucking near enough to, you know, live on my own. So, right? Like, I just did it just to see what I could do. And I got a pretty decent following. Right? And now I have to work for a living. And I still want to fucking have fun. Like, I still want to do things. And I still need to have, like, other things that I'm doing, or I'll go fucking insane. Right? Like, I'm getting a little bit fucking crazy with my impulse control. I'm starting to rein that in. But the reason why I get that way is because I go so hardcore working for so long, and then all of a sudden I just fucking go crazy. Like, this is how I am. I'm capricious like that. I am a roller coaster to deal with. Another reason why I don't date. I'm a fucking nightmare to have to deal with. Ask my best friends. They'll tell you that they would never want to have another best friend than me. I am the bestest best friend they could ever have. But I am a fucking trial to deal with. But there is enough good with me to be able to fucking cope with the nonsense that I fucking provide in people's lives. And you know, it would be awesome if I could care enough to fucking do all that. But I gotta tell you, man, turning that light on, and turning that light on, and like, I don't ever take the flag down, so it's not like I ever put the flag up, and I so rarely change the flag now that, you know what I mean? So, like, even to do anything, I love that Jesse's just kind of there, and Jesse's just kind of always there, so I can always just kind of toss to Jesse and go, yeah, is right? Yeah, Jesse says he loves the new setup of the fucking apartment. He thinks it's fantastic. He loves that he's always on screen. And plus, it's nice for me. I can be lazy with Jesse. I don't actually have to, like, set Jesse up. You know what I mean? Which is all of putting a whiteboard on a couch next to me. But now I don't have to bother with it. Jesse's just there. Like, my whole experiment with this channel could possibly be described. A theme of this channel, at the very least, could be how far can I get with, like, the least, with the most, you have to really like me effort. How many people can I get to really just like me? No, I don't want you to be amazed by the pretty colors and the flashing lights and all that shit. I just want to see how many people I can get to just listen to me talk. I consider that entertainment. I don't know. Like, and this is the fun experiment I'm playing now. For a while, it was something else. Like, I don't know. There was a long time I was seeing how many fucking women I could drive away from my channel with just ridiculous shit. And how many cool bitches I'd have left over at the end of it all. And I got a lot of cool bitches left in the audience. Some of them might have a problem with the nomenclature, but no, I love you. But yeah, I got a lot of cool chicks in the audience, man. Like, and they're like the hardcore ones that have stayed over, that are like, nah, I like this guy, he's funny. Like, it's my goal to weed my channel down to the people that are really interested in engaging with me. Because that's what my channel is about, engaging with me. I answer every comment. I try my damnedest to answer every single comment. I really do. Because I love to engage with my audience. I love talking to you guys. If I didn't like talking to you, I wouldn't talk to you. For those of you out there that get no response at all to your comments, if you leave a comment, if you're looking at your comment, and every comment above your comment and every comment below your comment has some sort of interaction, be it a thumb up, a love, or an actual reply, and yours is fucking sitting there barren nothing, no love, no like, no reply, it's because I'm not going to engage with you. I've chosen to ignore you entirely. Like, you can take that for what it is. I'm being pretty blatant with it, right? Like, I like that. I like that I can have that kind of control. And I like that people can understand that that's what I'm doing. If I'm engaging with you at all, it's because I am looking to further the conversation in some way or another. Now, we've now started to touch on the massive header for this video. So, yeah, almost 14 minutes in. Perfect time for an intro.
Who run Bartertown?
You know who.
You know him, you love him. He's
Alright, so the conversation continues. Apparently, it wasn't a tap out. The bell rung as he was tapping. Saved by the bell. The fight goes on. Round 2. Alright. We're taking effort. And I like that. So I'm going to take effort. We've got a further explanation. I'm going to just kind of... I'm just going to kind of skip the goofiness. Essentially, the point of his thing is, like, private property. He's fine with private property. But public property is property that to him is owned by the public. No, you misunderstand. Public property is owned by entities that own it. Sometimes public property is owned by the city, Sometimes it is owned by the state. Sometimes it is owned by the nation as a whole. Right? Now, what this means is, it is land that is reserved for a purpose or another. Right? Now, you seem to be talking about like oil as a public property. No. The land that oil is being dug up from, more often than not, is owned by private companies that are digging up that oil. Right? Like, so it's that oil is somebody's private property, and then they sell it onto the world market. Right? You don't get any of that. So if you're going to go the public property route, you have to understand what public property is. We're talking about parks, schools, and other, generally, more often than not, non-profit organizations. Right? Like even football stadiums. That shit is not public fucking property. That is owned, like Citi Field, that's owned by Citibank. The Quicken Loans Arena, where the Cavaliers play some b-ball outside of the school, right? That is owned by Quicken Loans. That shit ain't public property. So you're not getting a cut of that, right? Like that's not your, like you I think you said you think I'm talking about private property, but I'm not. I'm talking about public property. Supposedly what's held in trust owned by us. What property shows a profit? When that property shows a profit, who should get that money? That property generally never shows a profit. Like what public property do you think turns a profit? Mount Rushmore, public property. That is a national park. It's a public property national park. Anybody can go there. Anybody in the public can go there and enjoy the many splendors of fucking Mount Rushmore and the wonderful work that was done to turn that mountainside into four dudes that are very stoic, you know? Anybody can go there and look at that and go, shit, that's way smaller than you kind of think it is in pictures and shit. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can go and do that. Right? It's a public thing. But they don't charge you a fee at the gate because it's public property. Like, that's what makes it public fucking property. And if I'm incorrect in that, and they do charge you a fee at the gate, I'm guessing it's something like, what, $5 for a carload, or $5 per person? Maybe like $2.50 for children, some shit, like infants get in for free, or kids under 2 get in for free. I'm sure there's some sort of scaled rate, something like that. You want to know what that's for? Maintenance, motherfucker. For all you inconsiderate shits that to go there and litter. It's paying for the people to clean that shit up. For the people to maintain the roads, the paths, right? The nice handrails and all that sort of thing, right? All that money that you think is profit, that shit is going back into the maintenance of the park. And you also are thinking of inheritance as inheritance. Inheritance is a privately owned thing that is left from one private entity to another. That's an inheritance, right? When I die, my children will get all my shit. I do bequeath to them all my worldly possessions. It is their inheritance. I, as a private entity, am choosing to leave my heirs my possession as an inheritance. That's how inheritance works. You didn't inherit all of the land. Like, that's I don't understand what you mean. Like, you need to clarify more. You need to tell me what you think public property that's generating a profit is. I would love for you to tell me how it is you think you inherited something. I understand that the first 3 words of the Constitution are "we the people." But you don't seem to understand what that actually means. Like, you think that that infers upon us all manner of ownership and whatnot. It infers upon us the power to vote into fucking office the people that we collectively decide in our littler situations and in our grander situations. The people that we collectively decide are going to work in the collective best interest of everybody. That is the power we have. That is we the people. We decide who does what. Collectively, we decide who our mayors are. And if we collectively decide we don't like you anymore, we will collectively decide to boot your fucking ass from office. Right? But it has to be a collective thing. We, the people, collectively decide who decides shit. That's what that means. You think that means we, the people, are ultimately God Emperor of all things, and we ultimately, individually, somehow get a piece of every pie, and we, the people, are somehow we, the owners. No. Your sense of ownership seems very warped. Like, I think you need to explain yourself a little bit further, because I'm not understanding you. I don't know if it's a lack of understanding on your part or if it's a lack of understanding on my part. You seem to also be very vague. Like, you know, it's a lot to write. I get that shit, but like, you gotta help me out here, man. You gotta give me a lot more fucking detail, because you are making utterly no sense. Help me help you.